Ahead on American Sunrise, some of the Jeffrey Epstein victims are set to appear on Capitol Hill again today. We'll take you to Washington, D.C. for the very latest. Plus, shocking new revelations of the FBI reportedly spying on GOP lawmakers as part of the January 6th investigation. So what is the DOJ doing about it? Hear from Missouri Senator Josh Hawley ahead. And then later, the co-founder and CEO of the Free Press, Barry Weiss, is now the editor-in-chief of CBS. So what changes can we expect, and why does it matter? Those stories and so much more right now on American Sunrise.
Good morning, America.
Welcome to American Sunrise.
Whether it's culture,
we have breaking news to share with you.
Politics.
President Trump is joining us live now from Florida.
We've got you covered.
This is what it looks like to be a patriot.
We have to protect the American family.
The American dream is still alive.
I'm David Brody.
I'm Terrence.
And I'm Dr. Gina. Good morning. I'm Dr. Gina. We are live with you from the Palm Beaches. Let's bring in David Brody. He's in Washington, D.C., and Terrence Bates is in our Denver newsroom. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Dr. G.
Good morning.
Dr. G and David, good morning. Hey guys, some interesting happenings in Washington, D.C., or actually in suburban Washington, D.C., I guess to be more technical. At 10 o'clock, James Comey is set to be arraigned this morning. He's expected to plead not guilty to charges including making false statements to Congress and obstruction. Obviously, this is going to be interesting. What I'm watching out for is whether there will actually be a perp walk or if he'll just kind of be whisked into the building unassumingly so the public doesn't get a chance to see it.
I am so tired of the left-wing media. Sorry to go in so directly here, but I was thinking about this. I literally woke up at 4 a.m. and I was just steaming mad about this. I'm so tired of the left-wing media saying this is President Trump targeting his enemies. No, this is President Trump seeking justice for the American people, for those who targeted us. That's what this is. They targeted us first. Do you know how many arrests there already were by this point in the Biden administration? And President Trump has taken it slow. He's been methodical. He's been careful. I'm talking about his administration, obviously not him, because he's not the one obviously doing this. But this administration has done everything they can do to preserve the integrity of these United States in these moves, right, that they're making, just to try to restore justice for how we were all targeted, how the American people were targeted. An election was stolen. A president was nearly assassinated. The list goes on and on. And there's no one's in jail yet. That tells you how careful they're being, David. Thank you for letting me spout. That was my 4 a.m.
Absolutely. Thought. Yeah, that's been coming for 4 hours, from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. My goodness, that was fantastic. Hey, so a couple of things. First of all, let's be clear. Everybody talks about Trump and Pam Bondi and the DOJ going after Comey. Hold on. It was a liberal grand jury in Alexandria, Virginia, that indicted him with a majority of them on that jury. Let's just be clear about that. And beyond all of that, look, you want to talk to a couple of the pro-life protesters during the Biden administration, some of the Catholics that were targeted, just regular, ordinary people. Trump administration is not going around targeting ordinary people. They're targeting people like Antifa. They're not ordinary people. They're terrorists. Okay. And then, of course, you got Comey. As for the perp walk, I think it's going to be a whisked vehicle into the courtroom. That's what I sense. But let's remember, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there should be a mugshot coming. So looking forward to that.
It won't be as great. It won't be as iconic as President Trump's. Not even a chance. Comey couldn't be that iconic in his wildest dreams. I sent you guys a list yesterday of the arrests that had taken place to this point under the Biden administration. It's too many for us to name, but among them were 1,265 J6ers that I don't want to forget. And also Tina Peters, who still sits there, and others. There are others who are still in prison today.
It's not retribution. It's called justice.
Called justice.
It's called justice, for sure. Dr. Gina, since you were up at 4 o'clock this morning steaming and I was up at 4 o'clock this morning craving bacon and eggs, can you please get us to our Bible verse?
I thought you were going to say doing your Bible study, and I was going to be so impressed. Craving bacon and eggs.
I wish I was more impressive, but if I'm honest, I wasn't. I was craving bacon and eggs and rumbling around my kitchen, trying not to wake everyone up, but still cook a little something. So yeah, that's where I was this morning.
I love that story, Terrence. Today it's from Exodus 15:13. You in your mercy have led forth the people whom you have redeemed. You have guided them in your strength to your holy habitation. The government shutdown is now extending into its second week, and President Trump had this message for the Dems. Take a look.
They're all Democrat delays. There are delays at the airport. That's standard. And again, this is something that every day we put forth a bill. It's just a continuation. It's a very simple thing to sign and very simple to do. And I really think that these are people that I think they have nothing to lose. They have a party that's out of control. They have no leader. Nobody knows who the leader is. I look at people with very low IQs like Crockett, this woman Crockett. I never met her, but she's a low IQ individual. I look at AOC talking about how if they want to negotiate, they can come to my office. She's not in that position to do that. And who the hell is she to say that? And then I watch Nancy Pelosi not knowing what to do. I watch their leadership. Look, Schumer is petrified of primary because he's not going to win probably against anybody.
You know, Congress has a horrible popularity when you ask voters. So when I start to get cynical about Congress, you know what I do? I think about people like Missouri Congressman Mark Alford, and he joins us now. Congressman, it's good to have you with us again. I'm just going to let you take it away. I don't know. I had my rant. I'm fulfilled. I can stop the show right now. So you can just talk about whatever you want to talk about, Congressman.
Well, that was certainly a good rant. I don't know how you top that. I will tell you this. It is day 8 of America held hostage, the Schumer shutdown. It continues because of his pride, his arrogance, his ego, and most importantly, his fear. Never make decisions out of fear, but that's exactly what Chuck Schumer has done by shutting down this government. And I've got a little news for AOC. We're not negotiating with you because there is no negotiation. We did our job several weeks ago. We passed a clean extension, a continuing resolution so that we could get our jobs done on the appropriations and get the rest of these bills passed on the House floor. They want to obfuscate, lie, gaslight the American people. A recent Harvard-Harris poll shows that 65% of Americans, 2/3 of Americans agree with us that a clean CR is the way to go. They are seeing past the games of Chuck Schumer, who's living out of fear because he's fearful of being primaried by AOC.
That is 100% true. And it's really nice, by the way, to see conservatives, Republicans, I should say, sticking together. There is no daylight, and that is good news. Hey, what did I say? Hey, what am I, from New York? I am from New York. Hey, Congressman. Hey.
Yeah, what do you want?
I got a watch I want to sell you. All right, hey. Look, so Missouri Senator Josh Hawley spoke yesterday about these new revelations that the FBI spied on him, several other senators, during the J6 investigation by Jack Smith. So it took place during this hearing with Attorney General Pam Bondi, as you know. Take a look at this.
Manner of things and the current president. I've also heard them said, and I just wrote it down because I wanted to be sure I heard it correctly. I've heard them say that Joe Biden never targeted his political enemies. Joe Biden never directed his attorney general to target his political opponents. That's interesting, because I could have sworn that yesterday we learned that the FBI tapped my phone. Let's look at it. We've got a list. Tapped my phone, tapped Lindsey Graham's phone, tapped Marsha Blackburn's phone, tapped 5 other phones of United States senators. Gee, it sure looks like targeting political opponents to me, and yet I haven't heard a word from that side of the dais about any concern whatsoever. We've got nothing but concerns today, but no concern at all for a Justice Department that is tapping the phones of sitting United States senators because who knows why.
I mean, that was pretty wild. Hawley, by the way, Yeah, he called it an abuse of power. He said it was beyond Watergate and beyond J. Edgar Hoover. The question is anybody going to be held accountable for this? I feel like we're going to have an investigation, and that's about it. I mean, let's get going here.
Look, I think Chuck Grassley and others in the judiciary chair, Lindsey Graham, who were spied on as well, are intent on getting the truth out there to the American people. The truth is going to set us free. Here's the truth. The deep state does exist. Obama spied on Trump in 2015, 2016, tried to keep him out of office with a Russia hoax. Jack Smith came in and spied on behalf of the DOJ under President Biden, under the auspices of investigating J6, which we know the facts still haven't come out on that. Thank God Barry Loudermilk is getting to the bottom of that. But the deep state is real. Accountability is coming. There's going to be a reckoning, and I think Jack Smith is going to be part of that to make sure that this doesn't happen again. It's terribly one-sided when you consider that the deep state has gone after President Trump and those Republicans trying to make things right again in America.
Congressman, that Pam Bondi hearing that we just showed you was great television. I don't know if a whole lot really came of it, a lot of substance. I want to play you a quick exchange between Dick Durbin, the senator from Illinois, and Attorney General Bondi. Here it is.
The word is, and I think it's been confirmed by the White House, they are going to transfer Texas National Guard units to the state of Illinois. What's the rationale for that?
Yeah, Chairman, as you shut down the government, you voted to shut down the government, and you're sitting here, our law enforcement officers aren't being paid. They're out there working to protect you. I wish you loved Chicago as much as you hate President Trump. And currently, the National Guard are on the way to Chicago. If you're not going to protect your citizens, President Trump will.
Congressman, those sorts of exchanges have become commonplace. We're chuckling. I think we all enjoyed it. Absolutely. Those sorts of exchanges, though, have been commonplace in these hearings, both in the House and in the Senate. How do we get to more substance? For me, I would like more substance. Maybe it's just a selfish thing on my end. How do you see it as a sitting lawmaker? And when you're sitting in these sorts of hearings as a lawmaker and you're hearing your colleagues try to grandstand and you're sitting there thinking, okay, well, we could really be getting more substantive. How do you deal with all of that?
Well, Terrence, that's exactly right. First off, I love Pam Bondi. She came loaded for bear in the BS that the Dems are trying to shove on her, but it wasn't happening. Look, when we are in these hearings, we only have 5 minutes, okay? And people, and I've been guilty of this as well, you want to get your soundbite out there. You want to make something meaningful happen with your 5 minutes. But we also need to be concentrating on facts and getting relevant information so that we can make important decisions as we do as legislators to further advance the America First cause. You're not going to get that with the Democrats. They are going to I love it, though, that people like Kash Patel and Pam Bondi are prepared. They're coming with receipts. They're coming with information about those questioning them and questioning their real authority to even be in that position. I think that's something that is warranted, it's needed, and it's timely for this time in American history.
I agree, Congressman, but I take great exception with the fact that I live in Florida, you live in Missouri, and you have a much better tan than I do. Congressman Mark Alford.
Hold on. It's called Mary Kay right here. So.
Hold on, I'll out to you.
Mary Kay, wow, that's a blast from the past. All right, my friend.
Well, since we're putting up tans, I'm sorry, but I win the tan war.
You do. You do win the tan war.
Down. Sorry.
Not touching that one.
All right. Mark, thank you so much. Have a great day, Congressman. Coming up, Jeffrey Epstein victims are set to appear on Capitol Hill today. Who will they be meeting with? Rav's own Brian Glenn answers that question. And later, Chicago crime, not a new problem, but just how big is the problem? We have some shocking new numbers just ahead here on American Sunrise.